Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm recording this audio after I made this attempt because I wasn't speaking during this attempt, but I think I did pretty well, so I thought I would upload this one. So it's an urban world, no moving, and right away I get a really good sign, Makassar in Indonesia. And I've had that city a few times before, so I kind of roughly know where it is. I know it's a pretty dense city. It's going to be really hard to find that particular road, but I've got nothing else. All I have is that road. So I get in there, I scroll in, I find Makassar. It's down there, kind of just north of Bali, I guess. And I remember how fucking daunting this is because the roads they all look quite similar. You know, they start with JL, don't know what that means. But then we've got this Bulu Dua something, and I know that that will be a road somewhere, and it's just a case of finding it. And I know it's one of the east to west roads, so I'm mostly just focusing my eyes on those. I have a look around. I'm not really seeing where it is. I'm not really, finding the right sort of area, but I know it must be central-ish. It's not going to be super central. But I have a look around and I'm looking at all these left to right roads. I see a couple here that don't have any names, but then I notice Bulu Dua. Now there's nothing really on the map I think I can pinpoint it with, so I just go roughly in the middle and I guess. And it's 52 meters off, but we still get the perfect score for that. Next one, it immediately becomes clear that this is Canada. Because there's a sign down there that says Canada Day Savings, something like that. So I know this is Canada. And I look around and I'm seeing, it's a big north-south road. And then I notice over there, Barrydown. And that name just kind of rings a bell. And I wasn't sure whether I had this place before or not. But I remember the name Barrydown being somewhere as like a suburb of a city in Canada. Not a suburb, but like an area of a city, but I couldn't remember which one. I knew this was going to be somewhere sort of east coast, kind of Toronto area, maybe a bit north of that. I knew it wasn't going to be west coast of Canada, so I get into the map, I get close to Toronto and Ottawa, and for a moment I started thinking, wait a minute, what about maybe Barrydown is a place name? Maybe that's the place. So I start just sort of scanning around just in case I do find a place that is called Barrydown, and that's where it is. I see a place called Barry there, which I circled. And I'm looking around and I don't see it. I don't see a place called Barrydown. I go a little bit over, but no luck there. And it's not going to be over in Quebec area because we don't see any French anywhere. So I come back and I think this doesn't look like Toronto. Looks a bit more northern. So I go up here and I zoom into a couple of places. I zoom into North Bay and I zoom in just enough that I can see the area names like Graniteville, Eastview, things like that. I don't see it there. I zoom out. I look for the next biggest city, which is Sudbury, a place I've had before. Quite a common place to get. I zoom in and then lo and behold, there is the place called Barrydown. And there's one big north to south road right in the middle there. So I know we must be somewhere on this road. And you can see, looking now at the bottom, it says Barrydown Paint, which we saw on the street view. But I just don't see it right away. And I waste a few seconds coming back to the map, having a look, until eventually I see Barrydown Paint, in a moment anyway, once I see it. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I could have got that a lot quicker. So I'm looking around and I'm seeing that it says there New Sudbury Centre, and I'm like, I can't see a big mall or something over there. But then I realize, okay, we must be a bit further away, a bit further down this road. I go down and there is Barrydown Paint. And then I see the animal hospital as well. And I know that's where we are. So that's good. Number 3 is an absolute guess. Right away, I know we're in Ireland because we've got English everywhere. It looks like the UK, but we got euros. So I know this is Ireland, without a doubt. But I've got nothing. I've got no street signs. I zoom into this bin. I'm looking for, is there a place name on the bin? And there's not. And I'm looking around and I'm like, what on earth? Like, how am I going to get anywhere near this? It's pretty easy to identify Ireland. Just looks the same as the UK, but you got the European number plates and you got euros. So I'm like, right, this can't be Dublin. It doesn't really look and feel like Dublin, so it's got to be one of the other little smaller cities, probably quite far away from Dublin. So I end up just going into the map and pretty much randomly picking a place. I looked for a place that maybe I've had before. I choose Waterford. I randomly click in the city, and we happen to be 613 meters away, which is ridiculous. But anyway, I'll take it. So we're not going to get the perfect score anymore, but we continue. Now this one is South Korea, and I live in South Korea, so I can read the Korean. And so I know that this says it's a badminton shop, and the first place we saw was a hairdresser. Can't quite make out the road there. But the one thing I do notice is on the hairdresser, which we'll probably see in a minute, the blue text says, what was it? Tonam. I think it was Donam. And that sort of rang a bell as an area of a city. And it turns out I've actually been to this city, the city that we're looking at right now. But I wasn't quite sure which city it was. So I'm looking around and I see a lot of Donam. I see one on the hairdresser. I saw another one on a sign on the right here that we just looked at a minute ago. Maybe we'll look at it again. Not on this one, but somewhere else. Anyway, so I sort of think to myself, right, let's get into a few cities and see if we can find Donam. Or it's going to say Donam Dong, because Dong means like sort of area, district. I initially have a look down here at Jeju, and then I think, no, I'll leave that to later in case I don't find it. I have a feeling it's Jeju, but I start zooming into cities that I've been to. Not that I live in, but cities that I've been to. And you can see here I'm just sort of scrolling my mouse along all these places that end with the word Dong. And I'm looking for one called Donam. I'm looking around and I don't see it in this place, so I zoom out. I go into another place called Jeonju, which I've been to, and again I'm just sort of looking around. I don't see Donam-dong. Maybe I could have looked a bit harder, but I figured it would probably be at around that sort of zoom level. So I zoom out, I go back to Jeju, which is again another place I've been to, and there it is, Donam-dong. There's not really a whole lot else I can do here other than look at the direction of the road and then just pick one that kind of looks like that. And I picked this road. I think that looks about right. And I click it. And 500 meters away. Not too bad. Last one. We're looking around. It's definitely Africa. I start seeing French over here on the right. And I look at it for a minute and I'm just thinking, what does that say? District something of St. Louis or St. Louis. And I sort of look around for a bit and then I remember, oh, there's a city in Senegal called St. Louis. I couldn't remember where it was, but it's up at the north right there. So I zoom in and I think, right, I need something else here to sort of help me figure out where this is. So I zoom around. I initially look at this sign just to see if I can make anything out. Couldn't really make anything out from here, but then I zoom out and I notice right in front of me there's a roundabout and a bridge, and we're looking west, and I'm like, right, that has to be that bridge right there. There's a roundabout, there's the bridge. Oh, some problem with my zooming in there. I click it and I go for it, and we get the perfect score on the last one. So the total final score was 24,996, which I'm pretty pleased with. I'm going to keep trying and see if we can get that proper perfect score. And yeah, hopefully that'll be the next video that I upload. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video.